Hi, Sandra Wilson here, clinical hypnotherapist. So a question I thought I would try to answer today is, what can I do if I do not believe I am worthy of being loved? Big question, and it does come up sometimes with people who suffer with rejection sensitivity. The person was just getting extremely fed up of the cycle of meeting a person, being with them for a month or so, and then getting dumped. And often when they asked the reason for being dumped, they were told that they were just too intense and just a little bit too much. So they were getting this feedback. It was quite negative. So the person I'm referring to is simply losing faith that they will ever meet somebody, for fear that they're just going to keep on getting rejected. So it sounds like a bit of a cycle, a pattern going on here. And I just thought, well, I might try to unpick this a little bit, because I know how common it is for people with this extreme fear of being rejected to feel a lot of fear about getting into relationships. And when they do, often the fear of being rejected is so intense that they, I don't know, just maybe cling a little bit too much. And that can start to seep into quite controlling behaviour, even if it is not intended. So you might find yourself in a new partnership. It's very intense. You're in that very early stage, and you're telling them that you love them. And it might be that there's one evening when they don't respond to a text message, or they say, no, sorry, I can't see you tonight. And your response is blind panic. You might think, oh, they're going off me. They're seeing somebody else. You know, I don't know, I've done something wrong. I've done something to upset them, and I'm out of favour now. They don't love me anymore. And that might create this urge to ask them where they're going. And you might not be satisfied with, oh, I'm just going to see a friend. Oh, which friend? Where are you going? What time are you getting back? Can I come? And do you see where this could end up? You know, it could very well end up just making the person feel like you're asking too much, and it can maybe come off as being a little bit overbearing, a little bit controlling. And really it's just the insecurity and the fear within you that's doing this. It doesn't mean that you are controlling. It doesn't mean that you're, you know, this awful person, but you have this abject, painful, almost physical pain, physical fear that you're going to lose their love, that they're going to reject you and go off with somebody else, or, you know, and then what? What does that mean? It means that you are not lovable. You are not worthy. And this intense fear of rejection can happen for a number of reasons. Yes, it can be a result of perhaps developing an insecure attachment style. It might be that maybe an early experience of rejection has led to you feeling this way, perhaps something traumatic. Sometimes people with ADHD and other types of neurodiversity can be more prone to rejection sensitivity. So we're not entirely sure whether it is related to past experience or whether it is something to do with the structure of the brain, even genetic. But no matter where this stuff comes from, if you have a deep-rooted belief that you are not good enough, that you're not worthy, that you're unlovable, when you finally do meet somebody, you're just going to want to, I don't know, just get to have some evidence that that is not true, that you are lovable. And sometimes we can choose partners that might be emotionally unavailable in order to challenge ourselves, to say, you know, to get this evidence that we're lovable. And if we actually met somebody that genuinely showed an interest and was genuinely caring and lovable, we ain't interested. It's so weird, but not so weird. Because if what we're doing is trying to prove that we are lovable, for some reason, it just has to be the person that is least likely to demonstrate that they love you, because the challenge is a lot more, I don't know, quite difficult, quite a difficult challenge. And when I've worked with people who've said that they're not interested in having romantic relationships with anybody that would basically like them and feel the same way about them, even though they don't fully understand why. And yeah, so if you're noticing a pattern of getting involved with somebody and then they end it because they say you're too intense, too clingy, or just too much, sometimes it can be that rejection sensitivity, that fear of being abandoned. And if you may be struggling and noticing a bit of a pattern, there is help available. Okay, and if this is you, I'd be very happy to hear from you. Not necessarily to get therapy from me, but I'd be quite interested in just figuring out, having a chat with you, figuring out if there is something going on that needs to be attended to. So if this makes sense and if this has resonated, please DM me and let me know if you think I can help you. Take care. Bye bye.